Hari Om students, welcome back to the next topic in plants preparing and storing food. The next topic is unusual plants. Some unusual plants. What is meant by unusual? Which is not useful for us. So those plants we should call as unusual plants like cactus, some of the croton plants, mushrooms and molds. Such kind of plants we should call as unusual plants. Cactus plants do not have leaves. Did you observe the leaves in cactus plants? No. It has a green, fleshy and juicy stem. The green stem of the plant has chlorophyll and prepares food for the cactus plant. So the green stem of the cactus plant only will prepare the food because the stem is in green in color. Mushroom and molds are called non-green plants. As they do not have chlorophyll in them, they cannot make their own food and get their food from dead and decaying matter. So that is organic compounds and organic matters of the dead plants and animals. So these mushrooms and molds get their food from that organic matters. They cannot make their own food because they are non-green plants. Some of the croton plants have red leaves due to the presence of red pigment, and some of the croton plants have yellow pigment we can observe, white pigment we can observe. In different types of croton plants have different kinds of pigments like red, green, white also. So these croton plants have chlorophyll. So we can find some places, the particular areas also we can observe the green pigment in croton plants. So such areas only can make food for those plants. So these croton plants have chlorophyll. The green color in the leaves, the remains will prepare food for the plants. These are unusual plants which we can find in desert areas. So it needs very less amount of water. And do you find any leaves in this picture? Observe it. No, there is no leaves in these two pictures. There is no leaves. It has only the green stem. The green stem contains chlorophyll. It prepares food for the plant. It has very juicy and fleshy stem. It has, and it contains chlorophyll to prepare the food for the plant. These two plants we should call as mushrooms and molds. These are mushrooms and these are molds. Those two plants are in green color? No. Those two plants are not green plants because do not have chlorophyll to prepare their own food. So where do they get food from? These two plants get their food from decaying matter of plants and animals. The dead and decaying matter of plants and animals. So which suppose for example our bread is spoiled, otherwise any food item were moisture, so such kind of foods easily it can grow. So it depends on such kind of foods because it do not have chlorophyll to prepare their own food. It depends on the other sources. These are different kinds of croton plants. Let's observe the picture. So this croton plant have white pigment and this croton plant have red pigment and this croton plant have white and yellow pigment and this croton plant have red pigment. So these leaves all are different colors. So the pigment where it will be presented, they do not have chlorophyll. The remaining part of the leaf have chlorophyll. That part only can prepare food for the plant. The next topic is energy flow in living things. Human beings and animals need energy for doing works. So whatever we are eating, so from those foods we will get energy. We are utilizing that energy for the daily activities and other works. We get energy from food we eat. What we are eating, from those foods we will get the energy, and we most of the food from green plants. So 75% of the food what we are taking daily, those food comes from the green plants. Green plants trap the light energy from the sun during photosynthesis and prepare food. And the energy is passed on to humans and animals through the food we eat. So first it traps the sun's energy, then it will store it. That storage food the human beings and animals are taking. So this will be carried forward for the plants to the animals. So thus there is a flow of energy from sunlight to the green plants, and then from the green plants to the animals and human beings. See the next topic, interdependence of plants and animals. What is mean by interdependence? So the both depend on each other. So plants are depending on the animals, animals are depending on the plants. So plants and animals depend on each other for their survival. How? For example, animal needs some food to grow or to get energy. Where do they get? Yes, they get from the plants. So most of the animals get their food from plants. Not only food, even oxygen also. Oxygen also giving by the plants. Through the plants only animals are getting oxygen. Humans and animals need food and oxygen to live, which they get from the plants. So the plants are preparing their own food. It will stored in some places. That food only the humans are and humans and animals are taking. That part. After making that food also plants will release some oxygen that is taken by the animals. And what the humans are releasing out, the gas what the humans are releasing out, that is taken by the plants. So plants are taking carbon dioxide which is released out by the humans. Human beings and animals breathe out carbon dioxide which is used by the plants. Thus these plants and animals depend on each other for their survival. Observe the table. How animals rely on plants for and how plants rely on animals for. See here in the table, plants rely on for oxygen, food and shelter, and plants rely on animals for carbon dioxide and pollination. I'll explain that, and fertilizers. So first, animals rely on plants for oxygen. How? During photosynthesis, the leaves of the plant trap sunlight to make food and produce oxygen which is needed animals for respiration. So after photosynthesis process, plants released out oxygen. That oxygen is taken by the animals for respiration. In the process also, in photosynthesis process, all plants need carbon dioxide to make their own food. So where do the plant getting that carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is getting from the animals. So during respiration the animals are releasing out carbon dioxide that is taken by the plant for photosynthesis to make their own food. Next, animals rely on plants for food. How? So most of the animals are depending on the plants for food because plants are storing some parts their food, that parts only that taking by the animals. Not only animals, even humans also. Some animals like uh, will eat only the plant foods, and some animals will eat both the animals and plant foods also it will take. So which animals will eat only the plants? That animals we should call as herbivores. And some animals will eat both the plants and animal foods. That animals we should call as omnivores. And some animals will eat only the flesh of other animals. Those animals we should call as carnivores. So like that the animals also will segregate according to their food habits. So most of the percent animals will depend on the plants. Only few animals will eat flesh of other animals. Let us see plants. What is mean by pollination? So plants cannot move from one place to another place. It needs to depend on roots. The roots, if you pluck out that roots, the plants will not alive. It will die. Yes. So plants cannot move from one place to another place. So how that seeds, the plants increasing their number. So that means reproduction. So we know already the plants will reproduced by the plants of a parts. Some of the parts will reproduce, most of the plants will reproduced by the seeds. So some of the plants will, how the plants are reproducing? Okay, some seeds will dispersed from one place to another place through the wind or using some of the agents like wind, like animals. So like that some of the plant seeds will struck to the animal bodies, and the animals are moving from one place to another place now. Then the animals will carry these seeds to one place to another place. So in the pollen grains, the some of the plants which has that fur or hook type seeds, that pollen grains struck on the animal's body may land on the stigma of the flower, causing pollination to occur. And butterflies also will sit on the stigmas, flowers. It will sit on the flowers to suck nectar from the flowers. During that process, the seeds will attach it to the legs. The butterflies also will carry that seeds to one place to another place. So that is, so like that animals also will carry such seeds from one place to another place in the different ways. So I said no, that animals, the plant seeds have that fur or any hooks, light weighted. So that kind of seeds will be dispersed into the many ways. So for the disperser also using some of the agents, even animal also one of the agent to carry these seeds. Next coming to the shelter. How the animals rely on plants for shelter. So we know already nowadays the population is increasing in our country. So if it is increasing means what will happen? The human needs also will increase. For that needs what the humans are doing? So they are cutting down the trees and they're making constructing different houses, and that wood is utilizing for the furnitures. Suppose we had to build one house, even take one hut. What are the materials needed to make hut? Mud, palm leaves, and wood, bricks. Yes, so some of the things are needed for to make hut. So in this process, what are the wood and palm leaves are using to make a hut? In the same way, for construction of different houses, to to make windows or to make doors or furniture, chairs or tables. So for that and all material where the humans are getting from the plants, to cutting the trees, and by using that stem material they are making different kinds of furniture items. Next coming to the plants rely on animals for fertilizers. What is mean by fertilizers? The plants are getting minerals from these fertilizers. Yes, suppose for example your mother, while cooking process, your mother is peeling all the vegetables, that layer, the outer layer is removing, that layer is throwing outside. Yes, even fruit peels, vegetable peels, you should not throw away. We should dig one hole and we have to put all these vegetable and fruit peels in that hole and cover the soil total and add some water and cover the soil. After 15 days it will converted into the manure. That manure is utilizing for plants for growth and even fast growth, and even it is getting beautiful parts, increasing that parts also, like flowers, like fruits. So how they're getting that energy and that minerals from the manures. So animal waste is like cow dung, buffalo dung, that also they'll keep one side. After 20 days or 25 days it will converted into the manure, that also utilizing for the plants. Yes or no? For for good growth of a plants. So these are the natural fertilizers. It is not a artificial fertilizers, these are natural fertilizers. So these vegetable peels and fruit peels we can make at home itself. So I said no, we had to make one, we had to dig one big hole and we had to keep all the things in that. So after 15 days it will convert. Even in the animal wastes also we are getting from natural fertilizers. So like that, so animals also depend on the plants, plants also depending on the animals. Let's observe the picture. In this picture, the sun, from the sunlight, I mean in the presence of sunlight, the plants are making food. So that is called photosynthesis. Yes, in this photosynthesis process, what the plants are releasing? The plants are releasing oxygen and sugar, simple sugars. So this oxygen and what the plants are storing food, that food atoms, starch food. So that is taken by the animals. The animals are taking this oxygen and glucose. Then what will happen? The plants is taking that, and in the cellular respiration, the plants are releasing carbon dioxide and water in that cellular respiration. Yes. So what the animals are releasing in the cellular respiration? Carbon dioxide and water. This carbon dioxide is taken by the plants. So the plants are taking carbon dioxide for photosynthesis process. Next topic, balance in nature. A balance in nature has to be maintained between the number of plants and animals for their survival. So there is a balance between the plants and animals. So the quantity of the plants and quantity of the animals, the number is has to be maintained the same. So if for example, if there is sudden increasing of the number of animals, what will happen? Maybe plants cannot give sufficient oxygen to the animals. May not be. Yes or no? Plants will not give for all those animals sufficient oxygen because there is a less number of plants. If less number of plants is there, means may not be supply full oxygen for all the animals. Suppose if there is an increasing number of plants, if the increasing the number of plants means what will happen? May not be supply the carbon dioxide to the plants. The animals cannot be supplied more carbon dioxide to the plants. So plants cannot make their own food. So similarly, the both number of plants and animals will be decrease in the nature means what happen? So some of the natural disasters will occur. A sudden increasing or decreasing in either plants or animals will be disturb the balance in nature. So both will be decreasing, either decreasing also problem, either increasing also problem. If it is less also problem. So the balance will be missed out. So to maintain that balance in nature, the plants and animals are very, very important. So we have to protect for both plants and animals. For animal protection, we had to, for that animal protection, we are including so many programs, wildlife programs, and even some of the sanctuaries and some of the national parks also protect those all the animals. So what about plants? Even plants also, to stop that cutting down of trees to protect their life. So even that government has started the program, that is Chipko movement. So what is the movement? Chipko movement to stop the cutting down of trees. So we have to increasing the plant number, means even that also the programs also started. That program name is Vana Mahotshava. What is the program name? Vana Mahotshava. That program also started by the government to planting more number of plants. So for stop cutting down trees, Chipko movement, for increasing the plant number, we are conducting the programs like Vana Mahotshava to protect the plants. So like that, animals and plants we have to protect in the nature to maintain the balance in nature. The picture. So we have to maintain balance in nature to maintain plants and both, to protect plants and animals, as well as we have to protect and we have to save the trees. Yes, so to reduce the pollution, so to protect our earth first, to protect our environment also, it's very, very important. Observe the picture in this. So we have to protect our earth, protect our environment to maintain our balance in nature. So use perfect recycle bins, and even we have to save, we have to reduce the pollution. We should not use more number of vehicles. Yes, and save electricity, and to use most of the percent the solar panels, and we have to use wind energy to produce electricity. So like the general natural, from the natural things only we have to get all the resources. We should not spoil the environment. So if environment is very healthy, even as well as our that nature in also will be healthy, and the balance also is maintained in the nature. Hari Om. Thank you.